Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to West-MEC Governing Board regular meeting, starting at calling the meeting to order at 4:30 p.m. And I think we have Yasmin Sanchez from the Office of Assistant for Facilities leading us with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
A brief moment of silence. Thank you. All right, moving on to our third item of the agenda is a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Can I have a motion? Second. Oh, Linda seconds. Mr. Molina made the motion. Okay. The question?
I'm sorry. Are you signed in? Join the meeting.
Is your verbal?
Verbal, yes.
17. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to summary of current events. Dr. Spurgeon, would you like to start us off?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman Ramirez. So first I want to talk about, since we last met, Marilyn Babiar and I, and we did a interview with Horizons on PBS around current technical education. I just want to thank her so much. She did a phenomenal job of representing West-MEC, and her and I had a great conversation. So if you get a chance, I think it's even available online. If not, then I could probably send you a copy of it. So just a very well done piece of information around West-MEC. Second thing is I put together, like I always do, the end of the semester social media video. So you'll see that coming out pretty soon, just as a thank you and what we're thankful for the year-end video. Yesterday, Mr. Guy and I attended the Best Places to Work ceremony. And West-MEC was awarded one of the best places to work in the large company category. So that's a great news for us. And a great testament to all the great professionals we have here at West-MEC. So congratulations to all. I think since last time we were here, I believe we had the buy site tour. And there were several of us that got a chance to go through and see some of the new rooms. And I think 12 bars, 12 restaurants, 27 bars, and 1,100 rooms. So it's just an overwhelming site. And their amphitheater is going to hold, I believe, 11,000. So they'll be able to bring some pretty significant events to the stadium. And I'm hopeful, you know, we talked about professional development to see if we get some of our groups to bring some of their events to Phoenix, which is maybe a great venue to be able to do that. Let's see. We also had a tour with the Pharaohs Foundation at the Northeast Campus. They came in during SemiCon to see the new TechSmart technology that a couple of folks had. And so one of their founders wanted to come back and tour the Northeast Campus. So they did. And their founder, their chair, was 92 years old, came to visit and had a great experience. And in fact, we received an email just after that awarding a grant for some money. Didn't even ask for it, but we got it anyway for that to be able to use it for whatever we see the need for. So we got a great tour there.
Nice.
And then we had a West-MEC Southeast Campus tour. Vice Mayor Ann O'Brien got to tour with one of her professionals. And about 15 or 16 of us, we took a tour of the new Southeast Campus side. I believe she has a niece that's in our cosmetology program and has a nephew that also wants to be later. I think he's a freshman now, wants to be in our programs as well. So it's a great opportunity for the city of Phoenix to be able to see the great things that are happening at West-MEC and the new Southeast Campus. So walked away with there being very impressed. Next thing, we did a Northeast Campus walkthrough with Grace Design, who did the first advanced manufacturing and welding space. I'll also be designing the phase 2 there, but that'll be a pan down or pared down project simply because we're landlocked there with parking. So we're not going to spend any extra money on literally non-learning spaces. And so they're gonna double deck the back airplane hangar, and we'll move medical assisting and IT security up there, and then they'll have a meeting space, CTSO space and professional development space, and then we'll enlarge the student space just a little bit. So we'll pull several $1 million out of that project to use that. What you're gonna hear about tonight is our Freya project. We only thought we were gonna be able to get 1 or 2 programs there because of parking, but because Agua Fria has worked with us, they're gonna allow us to have the land just south of the Agua Fria campus. So we're gonna be able to put 4 programs on there. So money saved for the Northeast campus, we'll utilize at the Agua Fria campus because I'm not really interested in spending money that doesn't put money back in our pockets. So we're gonna try to spend money on the learning spaces. So you'll hear more about that tonight as we move on. Met with GCon about the Agua Fria campus as well. We met with the folks from DLR and Chase about the Southeast Campus Phase 2. And it looks as if we're going to be looking at finishing out, or the next phase will be the west side phase, because that's where most of the learning takes place. And there'll be a 2A project that'll be the learning on the east side, and then the community space and the facilities department will be 2A, so to speak. So we have a plan, and I think we had a couple folks that were able to attend that meeting. Chairman Ramirez, you were there, and then I think Mr. Steins was able to attend that planning, and those are pretty good meetings, aren't they, Mr. Ramirez? Yeah, just a lot of good conversation, and sometimes folks don't realize how much conversation and work goes into really planning what you see come out in reality. So appreciate you being there as well. And then we met with the city of Peoria today, talking about the executed leases on the north and the south property, and we're looking to move right into the purchase of those 2 properties. And there's a lot of planning going on behind the scenes with some other partners that'll be in those spaces as well. And then coming up in January, you'll see the 2 construction companies that will be interviewed and recommended to the board. We interview for the South Peoria and North Peoria campuses this Friday, and we're moving it very quickly. So we've gone through the first leg of the process. Now we're down to the last 3 finalists, so we'll be interviewing those this Friday, and that recommendation for the contractors that meet the requirements to do the North and South Peoria campus will come in January. So that being said, I could go on and say more, but that's good enough for now.
All right. All right, moving on, a brief update from the board. Start with Mr. Molina. Get us started.
Nothing that hasn't been covered already by Superintendent Spurgeon.
Okay.
At the meeting with the city of Peoria this morning. That was a good meeting, I thought. I think things are moving forward. I'm excited about that.
I've heard from citizens that things are moving forward, and they're going already. Yeah.
Yeah, some people talk about it, we get it done.
Ms. Bozo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did attend a couple of AI classes.
Right.
Interesting to be able to sit there in the room with the students. And some of the students are kind of excited, and some of them are kind of, I don't know. So it's interesting because it's a new thing. And then I did go to an advisory meeting yesterday. And they just went right through it. I don't know what they needed, what was happening, or it was like a half hour, 45 minutes, and it was over. It's good.
So I think some of the stuff we already covered. I also went to the ACTE Vision Conference with Dr. Spurgeon, and I'd encourage you guys to go if you haven't gone as a board member. Couple of takeaways. I did get to attend some West-MEC staff events, and our staff does a great job. Dr. Spurgeon, I had to sit on the floor. It was overflowing to the hallway. He had a bigger group than Starbucks. The only thing I did notice about our presentations, and it's my sore point, is we keep saying we're west of I-17, we're with the West Valley. And, I just want to point out Sunnyslope High School is in our district. They're at Central and Dunlap. They go to 16th Street Northern and up. So I'd like to challenge, and Dr. Spurgeon, we've talked about this, how do we say West-MEC is really, is it the North Valley and West Valley, but let's really emphasize that because we don't have big enrollment from PV. Maybe part of it is they're hearing the message that they serve the West Valley.
Well, one of the ways that I do it when I did my presentations, I said we're such a large space, but I talk about the area that we cover, like as far west as Saddle Mountain, as far south as Gila Bend, as far north of Winkburg, as far east as Paradise Valley. But we talked about that at the academy. We think maybe it's more like a metro Phoenix, West Valley, which includes North and East Valley as well. So we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Cover 4,000 square miles in Maricopa County.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that was real interesting is I was on the Titan tour and they did not do nearly the job that Vi did. They took us out to the main area, no pictures allowed inside the stadium. And they just kind of let us ask some questions and then kind of took us out. But on the bus ride there, I was talking to a gentleman from a district between Fredericksburg and DC. And he was talking about the signing day they have for employers, where the employers come into the campus and it's just like draft day or something. The students get in, the employer provides them a hat, or maybe they have the table and they sign their actual employment intent letter there. The district gets the information about where they're going, but the media comes in and covers it. So it's a really great opportunity. And I would love to challenge us to have signing day at each of our campuses this year. Marilyn? I can give you more information if you want to talk.
Sounds like a funny event.
But I just think it's an easy thing for us to do to generate a lot of buzz about our students going into industry,
Getting jobs.
you know, and not at McDonald's, but they're going to the electrician or wherever they're going. So that's a lot of great other things. Our staff did great doing presentations. So that's my 2 cents.
Thanks. Mr. Garcia? Same thing as what everybody said, West-MEC, they definitely brought in their A game. They knocked it out of the park at every presentation. Except we need to come up with a better thing with the meta coach. Especially when there's like flickering Wi-Fi that doesn't really work. Other than that, I mean, it was just amazing. Everyone did a great job, and I sure hope you pass that to the staff, that they were just, all of us were just blown away by them. So really good job. Yeah. All right. And the only thing I have to share is just I went to, like you mentioned, the architectural meeting for the Southeast Phase 2 for Southeast Campus, and just it's exciting to see it coming along and growing and seeing the different buildings and the programs that are gonna go into them. But it's also a little overwhelming and creates a little bit of anxiety just to see how many trades are involved, the contractors, the architects, weather implications, challenges. It's just, how do you keep track of all this stuff? But they're doing a great job and it's coming along, and I'm excited to see the opening of the campus in the summer of next year. Yes, yeah, that was great, for sure.
Having back some of those construction,
Yeah.
they'll say we're 72% done.
Mhm.
I mean, that just amazes me, 72%,
Yeah. Track that, right? It's crazy. Yeah. Right. Call to the public. Do we have anyone from the public? Nope. Second call to the public. Third call to the public. Okay. Hearing none, moving on to the next agenda item. Recognitions and celebrations. We have Mr. David Savornik, Administrator of Learning Systems, Teaching and Learning.
Chairman Ramirez, Governing Board, Dr. Spurgeon, it is an honor to present our Curriculum Instruction Employee of the Month for December. This is Carolina Solano Torres. I inherited some things from my father, a big nose physically, and the gift for the flaws of long-windedness and pontification. So I'm going to do my best simply to read the nomination and spare these wonderful people either of those flawed characteristics. So Carolina goes above and beyond every day in her role as a curriculum instruction administrative assistant. Carolina is the proverbial straw that mixes the drink in our C&I department. She works tirelessly to organize C&I events, teaching learning days and meetings, and serves as a great ambassador for career and technical education, as well as our West-MEC family. Carolina is a smiling face and a compassionate voice that meets the needs of our entire department. Carolina is organized, focused, and thorough in her daily duties and makes herself available to help anyone at any time for anything, for any reason. She believes in the vision and mission of West-MEC. She lives and breathes it. She's supportive of all things C&I, making the workday an enjoyable experience for all of us. Carolina has branched out this year to shadow career coaches to learn about that position. And Fridays worked with Rasan in Littleton for a coding event as well. And we absolutely appreciate her. Carolina is a pleasure to work with in our department. Serves as a strong advocate and asset to our entire West-MEC organization. She is solution-oriented, not easily unsettled. She is dependable in all facets of the position. Carolina balances the many demands of being a wife and mother to 3 beautiful children and a committed professional with grace, sensibility, and a strong sense of humor. And that has served her well working closely with me. All this while doing all this, she maintains a servant leadership style, and she is very quick to offer a kind word. We are grateful to have Carolina on our team, and we are fortunate to have her skill set and many talents to serve us in curriculum instruction. She is often behind the scenes, but always in the forefront. And West-MEC, best places to work because of people like Carolina. So thank you, Carolina. Awesome.
No, just thank you so much. I'm glad to be part of the West-MEC family.
Awesome, congratulations. Take a picture.
Thank you so much.
All right, 1, 2, 3. One more, 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love the smile. Thank you. We deserve to see. Oh.
Okay. Yes. I think we're done with the recognitions and celebrations. Okay. Moving on, looks like we have a presentation. Looks like we have a presentation from Wickenburg Unified School District, CTE Program Report. Some members of the administration, I believe. Is it Clint Bushbaum?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us.
1 minute. Yeah, all right, welcome.
Yes, my name is Clint Bushman. I'm the CT director at Wickenburg Unified School District. This is Juan Jimenez, kind of a master of all things. I'll introduce him here in a second and what all he does. We're just going to talk a little bit about our programs and how they've been doing as far as participation numbers, et cetera. So you'll see here, we've got 6 programs right now. Business management, administrative services, culinary arts, film and TV production, sports medicine, ag science, coding, and beginning next year, we're going to bring in the Air Force JROTC. So it's very excited about that. One thing about our programs here, our sports medicine program, we had a sunset for a year. Fortunately, we had our teacher about 3 days before school started. He was going to enter the school world, but he decided he needed to stay in the medical field for a little while. So he unfortunately couldn't start working. So we had to pause that program for a year. We'll talk a little more about that, but these are all of our current programs right now. As I said, JROTC will begin tentatively next year. So when you look here at our participation numbers, going back to 2017, it's been kind of there was a dip and then there's been a steady rise the last 3 years. 2 years ago, I set the goal of trying to get to where we had 90% of our students in at least one CTE program. you'll see here, we're making progress. One of the reasons why my goal for this year was 80%. With sports medicine falling off, that obviously did hurt our numbers a little bit. So we're at 72% right now, which we are very proud of, but it's not the 80% that we were shooting for. But with sports medicine, would have been there. Along with that, we've been kind of looking at where are we missing students? What's going on and why have we not gotten the 90%? Two reasons. One of them are seniors. Our seniors are kind of a lower number, students taking half days, et cetera. So we've been working on how to get those kids into internships, different ways to finish off those programs. So we're making progress there. Not where we want to be, but we're getting there. The other thing was actually surprising to me was 10th grade students. There's been a big dip from 9th grade to 10th grade. So the concerning thing is they take year one, then we lose them for a year. They are coming back. So they are completing the program, but why are we losing those kids between 9th grade and 10th grade? The biggest reason is for us in many schools, excuse me, 9th grade students, unfortunately, failing algebra 1, ELA 9, having to retake those classes. So we're doing a good job of having those kids complete. The problem is when they have to take that year off, it prevents them from starting that second program, which is not what we want. We want to make sure we can keep them as completers those first 2 years, then maybe try a different program. So as a district, we look at how can we be more proactive, not reactive. Yes, we want to give those kids credit, do credit recovery, et cetera, but that doesn't help them with trying to get credit for us and for them. So trying to find different ways to, do interventions, different ways we can get those students in CTE rather than lose them for a year. So, excuse me. Okay. I'm going to introduce here Mr. Juan Jimenez. So Mr. Jimenez does 3 different programs for us. He drives bus. If there's a need for a committee, he's our guy. Basically, he's kind of the do-all. He just added coding last year. So he does coding, business, and film. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him the floor.
Thank you, folks, members of the board. I have some prepared remarks. Thank you again for having us, and I wanted to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude for your continued support of our CTE programs. Your commitment to investing in our students is directly shaping their skills, confidence, and future opportunities. Thanks to your support, we have been able to make significant upgrades in our program this year. We've refreshed our computer lab with faster, more capable computer stations that allow students to edit, design, and produce at a truly professional level with no more rendering errors or phrasing workstations. So that's great. Thank you. We've also added a couple new 4K Canon cameras, enhanced lighting equipment, video receiver, transmitters, and fully podcast audio mixer kit, among other things. Tools that not only elevate the quality of our productions, but also give students hands-on experience with the same industry standard technology used in the field today. Excuse me. These improvements aren't just equipment upgrades, though. They're opportunities. Students can now produce higher quality projects, develop broadcast and multimedia skills, and explore more creative pathways that were previously out of reach. Your investment in helping them build work-based learning experiences, help them earn certifications, and prepare them for real careers in media, communications, business, and beyond. A couple of things, significant accomplishments among our students my chapters have also marked this year. For example, for the second year in a row, our FBLA chapter earned the prestigious National Gold Seal Chapter Award of Merit, an honor achieved by only about 10 to 14 FBLA chapters statewide. So very proud of that. In the past year, also our chapter reached our platinum level, and this year we have already attained the requirement for gold status once again, and with our sites for returning to platinum. These achievements reflect the leadership, dedication, and professionalism of our students who bring their work there inside and outside the classroom. So again, once again, on behalf of my students and our entire programs, I would like to thank you for your believing in what CTE can do and for you continuing to empower students. In these pictures, as you can see, that there's pictures of a couple of different programs. A couple of my students doing some editing, some students working with hands-on with cooking and growing stuff for ag. And there's also a sneak picture of one of my after-school programs that we're doing esports and gaming and stuff. So we included that too.
And one more change for the next one, what we did is we had a pretty strong construction program, and you see that wasn't listed. What we did was we took construction and rolled it into our our ag science program. The reason for that was there was more of a need for construction-based, aligned more to horse stables. We're a large horse property rodeo town up there. So because of that, that was where the need was. We wanted the same kids that wanted to be in ag science, the same kids that want to be in construction. So that's all in one program. We didn't eliminate construction, we just made ag science much larger.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of those kids are taking to different cities, which the ones that can with their schedule, depending on the schedule, like to mention, so.
And I'm gonna embarrass one person. I was gonna have our chef here because she has transformed our kitchen. She's in year 2. She was gonna speak, was a little bit nervous, but we're not gonna let her off the hook. That's this woman right here. She has transformed our kitchen. So that's a strong program for us right now. We can't squeeze any more kids into her kitchen safely with knives and different kinds of heat and those things. But if we could have doubled it. So very proud of her. Next time we present, she's in. So we wanted to have her see it first, but yeah, we're very proud of her. I tried to recruit her for about 3 years and failed each time. I was starting to lose confidence in my ability to recruit good people, and eventually I think just you complain at them long enough and whine, that finally just fine, I'll come work for you. But yeah, she's been a huge improvement to life.
You got me first.
What's that?
You got me first.
Correct. That's right.
She's my wife.
Yes, that's right.
She's my wife, that's fine.
They'll help me more than you did, but
I tried.
Yeah, the power of persuasion.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Well, both of those things for Wickenburg, though, I mean, the culinary and the horses and all the other stuff, it makes total sense.
Yeah, and as times change, like anything, you look for where the interests are and what the students are into, and obviously up there, everyone's into horses.
And where the jobs are.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's.
Two questions. One, what can West-MEC at large do to help you out more? And then secondly, where do you find most of your internships for these students?
Okay, the first one, I don't know that there's anything more just to continue to support. I mean, West-MEC has been so supportive with us in a million different ways. Obviously officer training, professional development, doing consortium. For me personally, I probably call once every 2 weeks with some kind of a question. I apologize for first. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sure this was an email before, but it's the patience they have for me. I know anything that we need, it's just an email or a phone call away. They're all so supportive for us, financially helping us with reimbursements and those things. We've been able to add so much more equipment, as Mr. Jimenez already said. That's been a huge piece for us as we continue to grow our programs and start new programs. And so I would not say there's something that we need in addition. I just to continue to give us that support we've been getting which is really great. Yes. And then the second question was, I'm sorry, what was it?
Where do you find the vast majority of your internships or externships or?
It depends. I mean, obviously, if it's, with the ag world, it's a lot of it is ranching. We've also, there's been an increase in need for welding, so we're always trying to get more kids into that. But we have about 5 kids that we just got placed with, some welders, which was awesome. So local businesses, but we are a large district. We're the second largest land mass. There is a lot of underdeveloped land, which is why we're trying to get ahead of it before we go from being a very small district to a very large one. But, we have students that are down in Buckeye. It's part of our district as well. So local businesses there as well. But, there's different culinary, there's different restaurants, those things, but kind of comes up with the program. But we are a ways removed from the valley, so that it is a little bit limited there for now. And as things change, there's going to be more. But most of it's local there.
What's the welding issue?
There was no issue with welding. We just had students that weren't ready to do it. And then we hired a new person for ag science that's her background. So now she started to add more welding components to where the students were exposed more to it. So now it's been great, because we have some local welders there that are all for having interns, and that's been a great way for our kids to jump in and learn the job while they're doing it. I mean, I'm jealous. There's days where I talk to these kids, I think, am I too old now, too well? Because the money these guys are making, I'm kind of getting jealous of what they're gonna do, but yeah, that's been great. With coding and those things, that's gonna be kind of a struggle in some worlds because we're a little further away, obviously, you know, with online and remote work, you can do more of that, but we don't have quite that. But all the hands-on trades with construction base and those things, there's a lot of opportunity there for our kids.
Do you see Wickenburg really growing that much? That's part of its charm.
Yes, it really is. I know. And the people that, I live in the valley, but for those that live there, that's a big fear because they don't want to lose that small town. Obviously in the Festival Foothills areas, that's ours as well. So that is going to grow a lot. The town of Wickenburg itself has grown a lot already, but most of that's the retirement Wickenburg Ranch area. But the surrounding areas are now starting to grow more. I mean, projection wise, I think we have 32 schools that are slotted. Obviously, it comes down to builds and water, et cetera. But yeah, it's coming whether they like it or not. Unfortunately, it's gonna become a part of the GLOM over time.
Could you just speak to the enrollment numbers where you showed 70%? How did the enrollment change from say 2018 to today?
Yeah. So in 2018 for who's enrolled in our classes or total?
Just total enrollment, just so I see 61%.
Yes.
But you're also growing as a district, so I think that's the other thing that isn't reflected in that.
Yes, so you haven't seen a large increase at this point yet with our growth. In fact, we actually went down a little bit with Natterburg opening up. They didn't have a high school before, so those were our students. So we have lost some students in Natterburg. So there hasn't been the massive spike that we're preparing for, but all of that land has kind of developed out to our area now. So now as new growth happens, that will be ours. So we're holding fairly steady. Obviously since 2020, we've pretty much been maybe even a little bit of a decrease in enrollment for a little bit. And then obviously probably the next 3 to 4 years, that's when you'll start to see that enrollment increase. We have some time still. It won't be a quick explosion.
Zero Malice yours or is that Black Bass?
I believe it's ours. Over by the Whitetex area?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ours. At least part of it is. There's two communities over there. Part of it I believe is ours, so I'll have to.
I was looking at the maps here to see how far Wickenburg is from TSMC. That's gonna be a huge employer.
Yeah.
Have students had a chance to visit the site? Cause I know they're gonna have big need for electrical, plumbing.
We
all
have
the other
not
trades
yet, and
welding.
that's one of the things that we're working to do, yeah, because that's gonna be a major employer and that's gonna be a great chance for our kids.
Yeah, it's a
we've
45-minute
talked
drive from Wickenburg.
Sorry?
It's a 45-minute drive from Wickenburg.
It is, and that's,
Yeah.
we have kids that come from a lot of different rural areas, so yeah, that's what it works for.
Happy or 303 and like Pleasant Parkway too.
Oh, yeah, yes. It might generate a lot of interest and excitement in the programs.
Absolutely.
Anything else? Any other questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Safe drive. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented and or amended?
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, it's Garcia, seconds.
Sorry.
And then we'll call, sorry. Discussion.
Okay, I'd like to pull F2 for just a comment only and also F4. Out of state travel, I'd like to separate the St. Pete, Florida focus users conference from the rest of it and vote on that separately.
Okay. All right, would you like to amend your motion?
I
Mr. Struck?
would accept the friendly amendment.
Okay,
So if the second would accept that.
all right, will you motion? I mean, will you second? Yes, yes, okay. Alright.
F2 and F4.
Yes, F2 and F4. But just, you just want to basically
I just want to make a comment.
on, okay, all right. Yeah, we'll just, but not completely, just to make it easier.
Can you just make a comment on F2 and then we just have?
Sure.
Yeah, 'cause you can comment right now.
Yeah, I just wanna say, that, Joel Wakefield is gonna be missed. You know, it's a huge thing for him to retire, and it was an honor and a privilege to serve with him, and it's really a great to serve with somebody of that caliber, and I just wanted to make that comment.
Okay. Thank you, yes, absolutely. Here, is Joel here?
There, yeah, he's in the back.
Oh, there you are.
You can't, he's behind the podium.
Yes. Is there anything better to do than work here?
I know.
What are you gonna do?
So do we need to change what's on the screen? Cause now we're including F2 in the include it.
We can just move right past it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have to redo it again.
Yes.
4 now?
Yeah, so just go ahead and vote. Okay. Oh, okay, great. Sounds good. All right. Now we move to item 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, overnight and out of state travel. All right, go ahead, open for discussion.
So you want a motion to approve all the ones and vote on them separately?
Except for the out-of-state travel for the Focus Conference
This
Youth
conference.
from January 12th to the 16th. I was wondering if anybody can tell me,
Yeah, first I need a second.
Get a second on that one and then vote on that one, and then we'll call a question for the next one. The focus call, so it's all but the focus conference is the motion on the floor. That one been seconded? Second. Okay, we'll call for the question, get that done, and then we'll bring the other one up, make motion, second, and then you can discuss it.
All right, this is
Take
for,
over there.
this is for approval for all travel except for the focus.
Yes.
Okay, what was your question, Linda? That one. Let's get the
Well,
vote
let's
first.
take- can we
Yeah,
get
let's get the vote first, yeah.
Finish on our.
Around.
Let me get a motion second to focus on the question,
Approval,
so and then discussion.
Anybody left to vote?
Mr. Strong.
Okay, okay.
I have voted yes, it says.
Okay, motion passes. All right, then open discussion for the focus conference.
I have a couple of questions. How much did we pay for the Focus system?
Board members, thank you for the question. I don't have that answer. It's been 5 years since the system that we used prior to Focus Schoolmaster went out of business, so we had to find a new one. So the board at the time approved, we had a committee and they went out and purchased Focus, but I do not have that information. I'm sure Ryan and I can find that in our past, but it's 5 years ago. I don't know that.
Is Focus something that we modify? It's like a software program that we modify.
It's our
to meet our
student
needs.
information system. It's our students.
So just help me real quick. So Focus is a software package and we do personal modifications to meet West-MEC's needs.
We've done that, yes, in the past.
Yes.
And so in my experience, in a previous life, I've gone to other software development conferences. Why they're of value is West-MEC has specific needs that the software doesn't meet. And you get to network with other people and learn how to do things efficiently that benefit the organization, that reduce the development time. And so that's usually what happens in these conferences. There's a lot of different coding techniques and so forth. So I would say the price is a bargain. When I went to the Computer Associates, it was $2,000 for me to go. And that was in the 1990s. So you can just, I would say bargain price. And it will pay for itself in the development.
What I can say about our focus system is prior to having focus, when we had Schoolmaster, it was really just a student information system, grades, attendance, data. Now our focus system is application and enrollment and communications. That's how all of our teachers and all of our communications goes out to our parents. So, and then grades and attendance and all of that. So it's a comprehensive system that touches every department that has anything to do with students. So it became this big and went to this big. And the training was a lot over the years. Now less people go to that training. Our Johnny, who is on the docket to get it approved today, though, is the representative from IT that works with the good folks that are in the business office in the SIS team. But John has single-handedly transformed what we do from application to enrollment by his knowledge and knowing that system. Like I would say that Lane Perales, who works for Jared, used to by hand for the past 16 years that I have been here, has done all enrollment and all allocation by hand for all of our member districts. And with John, he turned it into an electronic process that took Lane about 2.5, 3 weeks, talk about working smarter. And John does it with a push of a button after he's created what he's created in the background to make that happen, and in other areas too. So I can't tell you how important it is for John to be at that conference to continue to learn the updates for focus.
So Ramirez, another benefit that they have when they go to these conferences is the upgrades. Because as you know, technology changes almost on a daily basis. So the reason that we go to these conferences is you get that firsthand knowledge of what's coming down the pike, what additional services they're offering, how can we enhance what we're doing already. So I think it's a great fit to our staff members that go.
So is Focus paid for separately from the SIS program?
It is all one encompassing, the business office, I dare I say, is in charge of that whole, they bought it, and anytime something new gets put into it, it's part of the budget that comes. It's not like divvied out to student services or to CNI. It's something that the district took on as our student information system that has these other capabilities. And they can go again, and maybe there's a new capability besides communications, besides application, besides enrollment, that could be part of it.
So I'm looking at this as something, yeah, it's good to network and stuff like that. And I understand that these systems, they talk to each other. So that really eliminates some of the costs and stuff like that, which I appreciate, but I also look at this as cost of doing business instead of charging the taxpayer. They've already paid the price for these systems. And then on top of that, paying for out-of-state travel for them to update us with what they should be already updating us with. And I believe that it really shouldn't be the taxpayers paying for that again. They should be coming to us.
The approach is a little bit different because every district has a unique approach, if you will, and unique needs. So while their updates, and like most, when you get the notification on your phone that says there's an update tonight, and just make sure it's plugged in, you've paid for that. But if there's a specific requirement that only you have, then that's not gonna be in that upgrade because they don't know. So that's part of that discussion that happens offline with these industry professionals that say, hey, Bob, we have this need at West-MEC, and what can you do about tweaking the system to make this happen? Well, I don't know, but when I get back, let me look at that. And And let's communicate and figure out how we can help you out. So those discussions don't happen, especially with a large program, a large, application like this. Industry is not going to make something that fits everybody's needs 100% of the time. So the user needs to articulate those requirements to the developer.
And
And there's a-
understand that, but I also think that is the cost of doing business and they need to be
Yeah.
communicating.
I'm just gonna make a comment. One comment.
Mrs. Booth,
Yeah.
just so you know, we have monthly meetings where the rep that is our rep from Focus works with the SIS team and my student services team as well as IT to update them on some of these very particulars, but it's the networking, the camaraderie of that, but it's really the new pieces that are coming out, and they have like these, I was able to go 1 year, which was really lovely, and they have like labs that you can go in, and then they have those focus people there actually teaching you how to get into that program and make it different, and sometimes when things get stuck, we go and we learn that, and they've been able to make those changes for us. So I really do understand what you're saying, but I would tell you the value of the people that are going now to go and get that training, kind of like we talked earlier about training at ACTE Nationals and those things, is it far outreaches the fact that we would need to kind of be conservative, but make sure that these people our folks are really getting that information that they need to move forward.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion because there's not one on the floor that we approved the travel. And I would just maybe request a 1 paragraph follow-up to the board afterwards of the benefit of the conference of something that would be helpful. And this is the way industry operates with software. And these conferences is where all the experts go and you send your expert to get even better. And just as an example, going back to Computer Associates, I was a database administrator, and after the conference, I was able to automate our database upgrades where I would just put in a couple of clicks and I could do the database upgrade. Before, it was a 32-hour process. I would start on a Friday night and I'd manually sit there till Sunday morning. And so I learned to do that at a conference, and that's why you send your experts there so that they can get even better. And it's like the brain trust of that software. And so that's where I would leave it, is what he's doing will be even better, and it will return a lot more value than the few $1,000s we spent.
I'll second that motion, and also want to comment, yes, there's gonna be a lot of tech nerd talk at that conference, and
That's why I only went once, right?
yeah, and for $2,000, it's an opportunity also for users to exchange ideas and then and ask if they've been posed with a problem, they can't resolve it themselves. Yes, it's great for the reps to come and visit on site, but oftentimes you don't know what you don't know because you're not interacting like Mr. Molina was saying. Other districts have already maybe come up with solutions or have basic problems that they've resolved by either speaking with the tech reps or folks using the programs in other districts. So it's just a great opportunity to really get into the weeds or like the
What I would say is
technical issues.
Focus is the lifeblood of West-MEC. Everything, all of our money it passes through with all of our member districts, our 49 high schools and our 48,000 students.
Yeah.
All of our LADM, all our central programs, all our 6,000 applications, all our registrations, all our enrollment, and all of our communication. It truly is the lifeblood of West-MEC now because of how comprehensive it is.
It's the only one.
Is there a second on my motion?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay.
Okay. Any additional discussion before we call for a vote? No, okay. All right, call question for, yeah. Call the question, thank you. Thanks.
Oh, on me. He's a sick one. You guys stay over there.
I'm sick here, I'm walking.
As their vote.
And just, that motion also included a one-page summary or one paragraph summary just for the board for value.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think we're all done with those and going to the main event.
Last item.
Yeah, action discussion. First item, and we have Mr. Ryan French. This is for a motion to approve the GMP with construction manager at risk, the CMR with GCON for the Agua Frias Career Academy Phase 2. And authorize the superintendent to sign the contract and any other affiliated documents.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the governing board, Dr. Spurgeon, West-MEC community. This evening, we're excited to present the Agua Fria Phase 2 GMP for the board. We have our general contractor here, Tiffany Fisher from GCON, and her team are gonna come up and provide a presentation to the board, kind of give you an overview of the discussions we've had as a team, the programs that are gonna be going into this campus and what that all is gonna be wrapped up into as far as a guaranteed maximum price. And then any questions the board has, I'd be happy to come back up here with Tiffany and her team to answer any of those for you. So without further ado, Tiffany Fisher and her team, GCON.
Is this our clicker? Good afternoon, board, Dr. Spurgeon. Thank you for having us here. We are excited to present our GMP 3 for Phase 2 of the Career Academy for the at the Agua Fria High School District. Really quick, the agenda, I'll run through a site plan, the overall view of the campus as it is today and where we're going with it, a quick schedule update, and then the budget that we're asking for approval. So as you can see, this is the site plan. The buildings that are in gray are what have been completed in Phase 1 along with the associated parking, with the exception of the parking on the north side of the property, which is to the right of the screen. That actually should be in yellow also. So as you can see in yellow is the proposed GMP 3. So we're gonna finish off the campus, bring in the additional parking, again, up to the north, down on the east side, and then the additional parking kind of off-site right now where it says new parking, the big yellow square. This is what the campus would look like in that site plan. As you can see, the 5th building is sitting down in the lower southeast corner. Obviously is going to be designed to mirror the rest of the campus. Did we not? Yeah. Okay. So then the schedule with this is showing that the reason we're here today, we're really early asking for the GMP because we want to get ahead of the design so that we can make sure this campus opens or this new building opens for the school year of 27-28. We show it showing or opening May, which gives the district plenty of time to get your guys' facilities up and running. I know Phase 1 was a little tight, so we're trying to get ahead of that. We've identified early procurement. Again, while we're here, some of the things that we need to get up. Lead times, long lead times, we need to get them procured early.
To think, can you go back a couple of screens? I'm gonna share just a couple of videos or one more screen. So in times past, we thought we were only gonna be able to maybe get 1 or 2 programs here because parking was limited. But Agua Fria has allowed us to have access to purchase this piece of property right here, which is where the band usually practices. They're gonna move their band on a different part of the actual property itself. And then this is where they actually laid down with their trailers, if you remember it from the groundbreaking. So that there's basketball courts here, but they're gonna allow us to have parking spaces here. But this will be a shared space between Agua Fria High School and West-MEC. The second thing is that we're gonna be making some improvements because our students now can only exit to the east. It's a very difficult way to turn left and right or north and south because there's no turn signal there. So we're gonna be working with Agua Fria High School and the district. Actually, there's a road that comes out where all the rest of their students exit out to the south. So they're gonna allow us to be able to exit our students out this way. We'll make improvements here and then Agua Fria will continue to repair or maintenance that piece of property right there. So this could not have been a better model for us to come out. And somebody must have been praying for us to be able to make this happen because as Mr. Straka has always said, that Northeast campus parking limits the ability for us to deliver programs. And so this gives us the ability to be able to offer this with our existing, and then the extra parking spaces here would be more for faculty members to be able to park back behind the buildings. So this should give us enough parking for 4 programs there versus the 1 or 2 we thought. So when this is all built out, we're talking about 400 students on this campus, which is gonna be phenomenal. Thanks.
So, this is the GMP, roughly 12,429,000 that we're asking for approval on to move forward with this phase 2.
In the 4 programs there will be plumbing, 1. Number 2 will be an architectural design drafting using the new Revit software that all the architectural firms use now. Low voltage, which every project has low voltage, like from your thermostats to your speakers, to your Cat 5s, to all your wiring. And we had 2 days after we announced that, I think Jared met with Benson, and they're the low voltage folks, and they brought us all the curriculum and the credentials. They said, we're all in. And then the last program will be drones. You know, we had to do away with drones because we couldn't fly them at the Glendale Airport. So all 8 of these programs all deal directly with the trades.
How many students will that $12 million service?
We'll add 200 more students there. What would be the total? 400 total? Yeah, and that's just the 7 and 1 o'clock programs. It's not adding anything in 4 or anything in between.
So 200 or 400?
Be 400 total. You gotta count 25 per program twice a day. In some places we do 400, we do a 4 o'clock program sometimes.
That's $31,000 per kid. That seems pretty cheap compared to some others that we've done.
Pretty good.
My only question is, from a space utilization, I see angles and it feels like we're wasting space by creating angles. If you look at that plan, is there a reason we don't have that a little bit more aligned to like the fire lane and stuff? It just feels like
Parallel to the fire lane.
Well, we had a long discussion about this on different commission.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the issues with this building going in is that we now have to take all the surface retention and we have to bury it in underground tanks. And those cannot be under a building, they have to be in that fire lane. So the fire lane restriction is pushing the building kind of out of its way. And then on the south side of that new building, there is an existing retention and dry well, which the building is also trying to avoid. So there was a lot of creativity put into trying to get that building to fit and maximize this.
Move it down, we got the cost of the dry wells and the retention. If we move it up, because you have to be, I think it's 36 feet. You have to have 36
Clearance for us to install, yes.
So we think we found some savings to be able to do it under the fire lane and then push that water to where it already exists. Because if not, then you have to dig everything up and it's about twice the cost.
and so that's my next, is like, I often see a lot of gas stations now digging out gas pumps because tanks are leaking. If we have to dig out tanks, we're digging out the parking lot.
Exactly. Well,
What are the
water
odds?
retention tank,
Water retention tanks, would you ever have to dig those out to, if they leak?
some of the tanks are actually designed to leach. So we're early in the design, we don't know exactly what tank system is going in, but no, they're not like fuel tanks.
And it won't create a sinkhole or anything if it leaches?
It should not be, no, it should be compacted to be able to take that with.
You wanna talk about the new ones that we taled about underneath the fire
So we
lane?
have looked at, SPS is the architect, they have given us some options on very creative, precast systems. So rather than a typical, diameter tank that you would put underground, these are square, precast that can be modular. It's a better way to say it. And so we can actually curve it around where we need it. It also gives us a little bit more capacity, which makes us a little bit less price per square foot.
Is there a way we can use those tanks for irrigation? Or once it's buried, it's buried?
It's stormwater.
Because in the original Southwest campus, we built those water retention tanks to filter for irrigation, which I understand they're not working. So we're kind of back at the same thing.
I've never in my life learned more about water retention than being here.
Every site has to retain a certain amount of water.
So we're excited. We work with the Oliver High School, their leadership there, their CTE folks, business and industry, and we feel these are four very good for our programs.
Last question, if we couldn't put the water retention kind of in the middle between building, diesel and welding?
So part of the problem is City of Avondale only gives us credit 1 foot deep. So no matter how deep we dig the retention, they only give us 1 foot of surface area. That's their calculation. So there is truly not enough surface on the property without cutting the building in half to hold the retention above ground.
You said in our meetings,
No, I
there's so many rules and regulations you got to go with.
will drive you crazy.
What is the purpose of the retention? Is that just so that it doesn't flow into somebody else's property or
Correct.
is that what it is?
Controls the seepage into the ground.
Okay.
City code requires all new properties, it's been several years, that you have to retain your own water, so it doesn't go out into the streets. If at all possible.
In Phoenix, they have to either build a 6-inch retention in each yard or a large retention. That's why you'll see some communities have big park that retains water when it rains.
Yeah.
It's either or. So this is kind of the same. It's when it rains those 3 times a year, we are following these rules.
It flood everywhere.
Well, cool.
Just as a reminder, Chief on and SPS did the first round as well, so this is continuation of the great work.
Yeah, for a septic system.
That funding.
Thank you. Was there more?
That's all I had.
Okay.
I hate retention.
Yeah, we're good.
Do you want me to? You bring back up? Thank you.
Thanks. Alright,
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve, as much as I hate water retention rules. I just,
I hate it.
we have a second from Mr. Garcia.
Yes.
And no discussion, I'll call the question. Okay, motion passes.
it's like.
Alright, moving on.
Rain. You know, the city.
Moving on to our last agenda item is future agenda items. Any future agenda items from the board?
Mr. Chair, we did speak about trying to get more data on where we are mid-year.
The numbers?
School year, our numbers. We're expecting that coming up.
Future agenda items. For enrollment.
Right.
Yeah, we can get that for you. And in fact, I can send that directly to you guys.
Okay,
For this year or for next year.
Or the agenda item, but it would be nice to know, get an update on the goals that we approved in August. We're about the halfway mark. If we could get an update, how far each goal is and how much time each person has spent, just to get a feel for, hey, they're 10% of the way, you know, it's way past. We're halfway through, everyone should be in the 40 to 60% range would be my guess.
no,
You know,
okay,
let's make sure that.
just to see what the progress has
Let's see
been.
what the progress is. It's our first year. It'd be interesting to see.
Okay.
Yeah. Was there any discussion about were we also tracking the insurance since we're?
Was the other one I was gonna ask about. Could we get a same update on self and funding?
January self-funded update. In January, self-funded update spending,
As far as.
just an update on spending and where we are in
Yeah.
January.
That's a, we need to keep an eye on that too.
Alright,
I think that's all one side.
okay, I think we're at the end.
So as a reminder, we have our West-MEC holiday luncheon tomorrow. I think everybody's been invited, so we'd love to have you at noon. We do our trivia and ham and all the bits, and so we'd love to have you for, I mean, it's an ugly sweater too, so if you got an ugly sweater, I had to order one with a golf guy on there.
Alright.
Tomorrow at noon over in the Start Building. Yeah, we have a fun little trivia game and it's good. It's a fun
Alright.
deal.
Thanks. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Alright. Second.